Hey everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been forever since I've been up here. I'm excited to be back here on YouTube, and yeah, it feels like forever, but I am thankful to be back up here with you all. If you are new here, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Kelsey, and I am a communication content coordinator. I'm passionate about everything beauty, wellness, makeup, and lifestyle. And moving forward with my channel, I want to incorporate more spiritual wellness, career tips, and a few, cooking videos here and there. Since I am continuing on my fitness, healthy living journey, I would love to share that with you all. Also, make sure you turn on your post notifications so you'll be notified on every time I post a new video. So without further ado, let's get into this makeup look. To fill in my brows, I'm gonna use the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. If you've been watching my video for a while now, my favorite brow pencil was from ColourPop. They also had like a micro brow pencil, but that one I think was discontinued, or they're never in stock. So this is like the exact dupe for that. So when I fill in my eyebrows, I like to shade underneath my brows first before filling them in, just to have an outline of them, and then do the outline of the outer portion of my brows. Now that that's all brushed out, I'm going to make kind of like hair like strokes and like mimic the hairs, lightly brushing my brow hairs upward. Now that our brows are nice and feathered in, I'm going to use the Anastasia Dip Brow in the shade Dark Brown. I'm going to add a little bit of that towards the end. Now I'm going to shape them with a concealer. I'm just going to use this Tarte concealer, and I'm just going to lightly underline the brows. Then I'm just going to blend it out with my finger. Yeah. Now that that's done, to lock in my brows, I'm gonna take a Duo eyelash adhesive. I'm just gonna lightly brush that into my brow hairs. I know it may appear a little blue, but this is the adhesive that dries clear, so that's gonna fade. So next I'm gonna take the NYX Control Freak Brow Gel. I'm gonna brush them upward, and then the brow hairs to the end, I'm gonna just lay it down flat. To prime my eyes, I use a concealer. You can use any type of makeup eyeshadow base, and this is just my Tarte Born This Way concealer. Just make sure it's a concealer that is close to your skin tone, maybe 1 or 2 shades lighter. And then I'm just gonna take this slanted foundation brush and just pat that into my lid. And to set that, I'm gonna use my Mercier Translucent setting powder, and I'm just gonna take a pointed fluffy foundation brush and dab on my lid so we can set that base, girl. We don't want this eyeshadow to crease. We need it to stay put, okay? So for the eyeshadow look, I'll be using the Jackie Aina and Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow palette. It's a bit dusty, but she gets the job done, okay? So I'm gonna take this small pointed blending brush. I'm gonna link everything that I'm using in the description box down below, so you all know what brushes I'm using. So I'm gonna be mixing ginger and edges right here, 2 browns, but one is deeper than the other. I'm just lightly buffing that color where my crease is, You wanna take your time with this because we will be blending later. And towards the end, I'm just gonna lightly like flicker it out. Nothing too crazy. Next, what I'm gonna do is take a clean Morphe fluffy brush. It may look dirty, but trust me, it's clean. It has been used a lot. And I'm just gonna blend just the top part of that little cut crease that we did. Not blending it in, but just blending that top layer so we have a gradient effect. Next, I'm gonna add this shade right here called Ginger, and I'm just taking that color and blending that on my outer crease. Not really going all the way in to my eyelid, but just brushing it on the outer, kind of like tail of my brow. So next, I'm going to add this shade right here. I'm gonna add this lightly to my lid. And this is like a gold champagne color with a lot of pink reflex to it. Now I'm taking that dark brown shade Credit and lining my lash line to get a smoky effect. And now I'm just like winging that color, make a wing. So now, I know this is a lot of steps. we're almost there, we're almost there. So next I'm just gonna take that same brush that I used to do that dark brown and lightly blend. Now I'm just gonna go with that gold color and just press the inner part of my eyes. So now I'm just gonna take a makeup wipe and clean right underneath my eye. So for the base, I'm gonna be using the Fenty Beauty Hydrating Primer. Been a little lazy, so I'm just gonna use a flat foundation brush to apply this. This primer just feels so good on the skin, y'all. So now I'm just applying my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer just to the center of my face. I like applying this on my cheeks and my nose area because I noticed that this area gets a little bit built up with makeup and product. So just want to make sure that is intact. So for foundation, I'll be using 2 today. I'm going to be mixing the Morphe Filter Effect Soft Focus Foundation in this shade Filter 1019, and then the NARS Naturally Radiant Foundation in the shade Tahoe. So I'm just taking both and mixing them on the back of my hand. To blend that out, I'm going to use my Morphe M439 brush and also spraying this with my Makeup Forever Mist and Fix Spray. It can be used as a primer or setting spray, which I like. So this is just going to, you know, keep this foundation locked in my skin. And y'all, don't forget to blend your jawline, okay? For concealer, I'll be using 2 as well. I know it seems a little extra, but you just have to trust the process. And these steps for me are important to do because I just like the final product of the way my makeup looks. So the first one I'll be using is the Makeup Revolution Ultimate Coverage Crease Proof Concealer. And y'all, I really hope that they're still selling this. I haven't seen it in Ulta recently, but this is the most full coverage drugstore concealer ever. And so I'm just taking a little bit, literally this much, and dabbing it underneath. Like, this concealer is the truth, y'all. I mean, look at the difference. and I use my hands to apply. But really, I like using this concealer because it cancels out the darkness and like the gray undertones that sometimes we have underneath our eyes. It's just that backup layer that prevents that from showing through my makeup. So just to brighten that up a little bit, I'm gonna be using my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Creme de Orange. Yeah, Creme de Orange. Apply down my chin. Before, I used to apply my concealer like all the way down here, but I like to apply it above my chin because it makes my face look a little bit slimmer. And then just applying it on my high points. So now I'm just blending that concealer out with a sponge. This is from e.l.f. This sponge, y'all, e.l.f. is coming for y'all next. It's coming for Beauty Blenders neck, okay? Next, I'm gonna cream bronze, and I'm gonna use this e.l.f. Putty bronzer. As you can see, it's still in the package. This is my first time using it. It is in the shade Honey Dip. It gives off a natural bronze, soft contour, sun-kissed glow. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of that putty primer and buff it on the back of my hand, like so. It's right here. So I'm just gonna take the back of my sponge and lightly dab it, and we're just gonna dab it on our cheeks to see what's the tea. I mean, are y'all seeing it? I feel like there's a slight difference. I don't know, I think I was expecting a little bit more depth. So I'm just gonna dab a little on my forehead. And I'm just patting that along my jawline. So for blush, I'll be using the e.l.f. Putty blush. I just love the creamy consistency of their products. I feel like it makes my makeup look more skin-like. So I'm just gonna do the same thing and apply it on the back of my hand. It looks pretty bright, but when I apply it with the sponge, it gives it a really nice, like fleshy pink color to it. Y'all see that? I love it. I'm gonna dab a little bit on my forehead and my nose. So right on top of that, I'll be using this Hollywood Glam Glow Illuminizer, and I'm gonna put this right, oh, I just put way too much. I'm gonna do the same exact thing, and I know this is a lot, but this is just a really nice illuminizing highlighter. I'm just gonna dab a little bit, like spread it out on the back of my palm and apply that to my cheeks. Just where I would apply my cream highlighter, I mean my powder highlighter, I'll apply it there. And of course, whatever's left on my brush, I'm gonna dab on my forehead, my nose, and my chin. So now it is time to set all these products. To set my under eyes, I'll be using the Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. So to set the entire face, I'm gonna use my Sephora Micro Smooth Setting Powder in the shade Tan 35. And I'm just lightly dabbing this powder all over my face. This is a very lightweight powder, so it does the job of not really adding that much, you know, color or product. So now I'm going to set all of those cream products with powders. I know you're probably thinking, why are you doing that? Like, what was the purpose of that? But this is really going to lock in those cream products and make your makeup, your blush, your bronzer, your highlighter last throughout the day without it fading. So for powder brush, I'm gonna use this one from NARS, and this is in the shade Orgasm X. Go in slightly with this. And for the powder bronzer, I'm gonna use my Fenty Beauty Stalker bronzer in the shade Caramel Cutie. This bronzer is like a true throwback. And for highlighter, I'm gonna use the Fenty Beauty Killawatt highlighter in the shade, which one should I use? I'm gonna use this one. This one is Honey. Same with this one. I will be applying just a dab of this, not as much as I would usually apply. Of course, we gotta wipe down our lips to remove any buildup product. For mascara, I'm gonna use the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. And now I'm just gonna take that same eyeshadow brush with that dark brown and buff with whatever's on that brush. I'm just gonna use it to buff that into my bottom lash line. For lashes, I'm gonna use these Kiss ones right here in the style Jubilee. So while my lashes dry, to line my lips, I'm gonna use the NYX. This is actually an eyebrow pencil, but I like the way the undertone looks. And so I just use this as a lip liner. This is in the shade Auburn. So for the lipstick, I'll be using this one from MAC in the shade Peach Stock. This is a really creamy, peachy nude color. So right on top, I'll be using this gloss from Sephora in the shade Yes Honey. Ooh, that is cute. Okay, you guys, this is the completed makeup look. I really like how this whole entire makeup look came together. The eyes, the lip, the skin is just giving. Last but not least, I forgot to set the entire makeup look. And when I do that, I like to spray my sponge with a mattifying or long wearing setting spray and lightly dab my skin with that, because I feel like every time I spray my face I get those little, you know, the spray droplets on my makeup, and you can see it on my skin. So I just feel like this is a better way of setting my makeup, and this is the completed makeup look. If you enjoyed watching this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you all on my next video.